In this episode of Dentside Depot, we're going to be installing a new axle in our Project Jade Interceptor truck, and we're also going to be solving a big problem with the rear shock mounts with these new updated versions from Vintage Truck and 4x4, and at the same time, we're going to install some Ridetech RQS shocks. So stay tuned, let's get into it. Okay, now I've already got the old 9-inch pulled out, and I know what you're thinking, well, why are you getting rid of the 9-inch? Well, the reason for that is we have a Crown Vic front axle and we have Terminator Cobra wheels. So the back spacing for the wheels is correct for a Crown Vic or a late model Mustang and not for an old Ford truck. So what I wanted to do was multiple things. First of all, I wanted a posi, and this one's a single legger with 273 gears, which isn't good. I also wanted disc brakes and a better e-brake system, which this doesn't have, and it's a big pain for a 9-inch. And then lastly, I wanted the middle wheel spacing to be correct so I could easily rotate the Terminator Cobra wheels and not have to deal with this anymore. And this is going to be the solution. Now, this is actually a rear axle out of a Mercury Marauder. It also has a 355 limited slip diff in it, and this particular axle came from the south and it only has 80,000 miles on it. For now, let's get it in so this truck's a roller yet again. Got it bolted up in there, and it's actually pretty spectacular how nicely that fit. I was just guessing, and just by removing the e-brake bracket, it fits right in between those two perches. So unless you don't like that bracket being there, the 4-link bracket, you can leave it. And it fits perfectly fine. It is dead center. And I didn't have the right lug nuts, but fortunately I found some in my toolbox that'll fit. I don't know what they were off of, but I'm glad I seized them at some point. Now that I think it, these might have been the lug nuts off the Crown Victoria that I got this front suspension off of. Okay, we are moving right along with our Crown Vic rear swap and our total Ridetech suspension system install, and you can see the significant progress that we've made. Not only is the rear in, but now the front suspension is also set up, and I'll give you a quick overview. You can see our ride height right here, and you can also see our coilovers are set and they look really awesome. Now, I ran into an issue as far as getting the ride height set properly, and I really didn't know what was going on. But then I realized, well, wait a second, I have an F100 out in the driveway, so let's take a comparison of the rear leaf packs. And here's what I found. The F-150s, well, they typically have an extra leaf in the pack for a total of 4 plus the overload spring. That was the problem that I was having. So I unpacked the leaf springs, took this one out to give it an F100 rear suspension, and now you can see my total ride height setup is perfect. We have a little bit of rake front to back, but it's exactly what you want while maintaining truckability in the rear. So what are we gonna do next? Well, we need to finish up installing our rear axle from our Mercury Marauder. So what we need to do is look to Ridetech and Vintage Truck and 4x4 product to get this install completely done and ready to be hit on the welder. So here's what we have. First of all, we're going to be installing Ridetech's new RQS steel body shock. Now, the great thing about this product is not only is it American made, but this is more of an economy shock that's high quality compared to their aluminum body shocks. These products have just come out and there's all different sizes available. Typically for a muscle car application, but it's going to work perfect for our Mercury Marauder swapped rear axle in our F-150. So I can't wait to get these installed, and by the way, they're also adjustable for rebound, which is really great. In addition, we're going to be changing out our rear shock mounts using Vintage Truck and 4x4's brand new shock mounts that just came out, and I have the first set released right here, and you can see what an improvement these are over the originals. Now, the problem with these particular shock mounts is that they sit like this on the frame, and unfortunately, they would actually fill up with dirt and rust at the bottom. But Vintage Truck and 4x4 has fixed that. You can see, first of all, there's now a drain pocket at the bottom. That is a huge advantage, so you won't have any rusting issues. Second, you're going to see how much thicker and beefier this bracket is compared to what the factory one is. And last, and most important of all, and this is why I wanted to make these brackets, is now we have a pintle that comes out of the shock eye. Instead of it being a stem mount shock, now you can equip your shocks in the rear with a standard eyelet shock like you see right here. Now, there's two advantages for this. First of all, there's more shock lengths available for a standard eye, which is what we're going to be using and what I really needed for this application. Number two, and this is extremely important, for 4x4 trucks like you see right here on my crew cab 4x4, the factory eye or the factory stem mount would not allow you to get the right angle going down to the axle. The bottom of your shock, like you can see right here, would go up and it would rub on the mount of the axle, and it would actually tear up your shocks, or you couldn't even get them installed. So now that is all fixed, because obviously these will allow the shock to rotate so you can get the correct angle that you need, solving essentially 3 or 4 problems at one single time. Rust, angle, and rigidity are all solved with this particular design. And guess what? These are also the easiest brackets to get off of the frame out of all of them. So it's going to be a quick install. I'll put them on and then take them back off and put some paint on them. So I have our ride height set. I also have the pinion angle set and ready to go. So that is set up with the truck at ride height, which is critical that you get all of this done before you go and start welding things on like perches and shock mounts. So now I can put the rear axle up on jack stands and we can start putting everything together for the last time. Okay, so what I'm doing here to remove the rear shock bracket is I'm doing pie cuts. So 2 cuts on the center, and then you're using a chisel bit and you're just popping the rivets off. And now what I'm going to do, just so you can see, I'm going to take my punch on my chisel and I'm going to push the pin out. You can see it's not going, and that's because I have more material. So I'm going to take my die grinder again and I'm going to grind this smooth. I'll get that other one off and then we'll push it out with the chisel. You can see that I've grinded everything flush, so now the rivets should pretty much just pop out. Sometimes they pop out without taking all the material out, but these ones were a little tight, so let's give it a go. That's 1, 2, and there you go. The bracket just fell out like that. And I can tell you that these are by far the easiest brackets to get off the entire truck. So now let's do a little comparison here. Now that we got this out, let's compare it. You can see the difference in the thickness between the 2 brackets, right? So obviously we have a much thicker material to start with. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is, obviously your brackets are probably going to be pretty nasty and corroded. You can see here down at the bottom, there's no pocket out. So this is just essentially trapping water in here, ruining your bracket and possibly also your frame. Now you can see we have a standard stem mount. We're getting rid of that. Now we have a pintle, so you can put your eye-on-eye shock on and fix your angle issues as well. Now you can see that the 2 brackets are identical, and that's because we're no longer dependent on the bracket itself setting the angle. The pintle is going to allow for any angle that you need. As always, every kit for vintage truck and 4x4 includes all the hardware that you need, and in some cases it is upgraded grade 8 hardware as well. Okay, now we do have upgraded hardware for this kit to 7/16 bolts. So what we do need to do, it's only going to take a couple seconds, is we just have to drill these holes out just a little bit. Not very much at all. Now remember, on the driver's side you need to be careful because the fuel line is on this side. Definitely take that into account. Forgot to paint them before filming here today, but that's okay because we're just doing mock-up right now anyway, and they only take 2 seconds to install regardless. And we are at the point now where we are ready to weld. So what I've done to set up my shock absorber mounts on my axle is I like to take these 2x2s from Home Depot, square 2x2s, and I cut them to the length that I want the shock to be at its midpoint. So my ideal shock span. Then I put the bracket on the bottom with a bolt in it, and I have a floor jack, put it into position where I want the shock to sit at the right angle and everything else. And you can see that's what we have here. So now what I can do is I can put some nice hot tacks onto that bracket. Then we can fit our Ridetech shock, make sure that it's good, and then this axle can come out for all the final welding and this job is done. So let's go ahead and do that now. Before you put your welds on, wherever you're going to be putting them, it's really difficult when the metal's really cold like this and you're working on a pump angle. So I just pump in a little bit of heat beforehand, give me the best chance of getting a nice sticky weld on my clean metal here. I have the bracket welded in place on the axle. I'm not happy with a couple of my welds, so I will, once I have it tacked in better, I'll cut those out and redo those welds. It's just really hard to do this on the truck at awkward angles. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to pop out our block of wood here that we used for setup. It did its job. I will need it one more time for the other side, so I don't want to break it. So I'm slipping my shock in, and I'm gonna have to put the camera down to get the right angle, right leverage here to get this on. I'm just popping it in now just to make sure that it fits correctly. And now we are good to go. A lot of pressure on that shock. And there you go, and you can see our shock is installed and the angle looks really good. So the vintage truck and 4x4 bracket saved us. And then these Ridetech RQS shocks definitely fit the billing for this particular project. So now what I can do is obviously do the other side. That side's ready to be welded in. Then I'm gonna pull the whole axle out. So with that being said, now you can definitely grab these RQS shocks for your classic ride, no matter what it is. Or if you want to, just by happenstance, I have these right here. You can also grab the aluminum body ones like you can see on my LS Swap Trans Am that we have right here. If you want to go with the aluminum bodied HQ ones, which are also, I can tell you from personal experience, are absolutely amazing. Amazing ride feel and the same adjustability as the RQS shocks. So with that said, I want to give a special thanks to Ridetech. This suspension system is now done on the F-150 and it looks absolutely amazing. Let's also give a shout out to Vintage Truck and 4x4 for being the first company to step up to the plate and really redesign and fix these absolutely awful rear stem mount shock brackets that Ford made in the 70s. I don't know what they were thinking when they designed that system. There's so many things wrong with them. That's no longer a problem. That's a cheap and easy fix for any 70s 4x4 or two-wheel drive truck. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the full suspension install on our Jade Interceptor truck. We have the Holley system in the front all done, and this truck is going to be running very soon. So remember to like and subscribe and keep restoring those classic trucks.